Hey everybody, this is your 10-minute hip mobility workout. So today we're going to take a huge focus on loosening up the hips, making sure that they have full range of motion in all directions that they are supposed to move. You won't need any equipment except for a mat or soft surface, so let's start it up. So starting our work facing the side, we're going to put 30 seconds on the clock as we head into a downward facing dog. So once we're in our downward facing dog, I want you to lift the right leg up, bend the knee, and then open the hip up. So you're going to be pressing into that left hand a little bit more, and we'll be here for just about 15 more seconds. Trying to release the hip. I know this is a pretty active position as far as like we're holding up our entire body weight, but we're going to come out of this in just about 5 seconds into a very low open runner's lunge. Good, square the hips off, bring the knee into the chest, walk the foot to the outside of the hands as we drop that back leg down and we walk the hands down. So I'm turning my right toe out to the side for a little external hip rotation. And we're just trying to release that hip before we start to move a little bit more. Just about 10 seconds left here. Shoulders away from the ears. Good, we got 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it up. Walk that foot in back a little bit further, and then we're gonna press it forward and up. Forward and up. So unlike our stretch we do for more ankle mobility, this is going to be more for that hip. So I don't want the knee going past the ankle. We should feel a nice stretch in that back hip. So if you're not feeling it, you might need to step your feet a little bit wider. But just about 5 more seconds here. Perfect. We're going to pivot open toward the front. So I'm just spiraling that left leg back as we shift it into the side and back up. So again, we really want to make sure that we're moving the hips in all directions. Mobility is all about making sure that the joint is mobile in any way it's supposed to move. So we will hit a little bit of stretching the muscles that come into the pelvis just to make sure that nothing's pulling on it. But besides that, we're going to take some active movements to really make sure those hips are mobile. Good. And last one, we're going to flip that front leg down. Back leg is going to flip into our 90-90 stretch. So I've got a 90-degree angle in the front, 90 degrees in the back, and we're just going to hold ourselves upright here. So trying to press that left hip down. Now, if we're talking about hip mobility, this is like the #1 exercise that we want to do. I'm going to turn a little bit more open toward you. Good. Just about 5 more seconds here. And if you feel comfortable, we're going to bring the hands to heart center, internally rotating as we come open and shut. Good, so we're going to start to fire that back glute to press ourselves back up forward. If you need a little added support, bring that back hand down. Otherwise, try to let the glute do the work here. Good, less than 10. We're going to be facing the front leg. Good, hands can either stay here, or if you want to advance it, bring them up. We're going to hinge forward and up. If you need a hand on the floor, totally fine. I actually might take that option today. Feeling a little bit tight. Good, 15 more seconds. That's it. You should really feel that glute working in the back. Nice, last one, we're gonna bring it all the way over, but instead of collapsing, I want you to really think belly button to the calf. Keep trying to force, well, not force, press, gently press that left hip down. Good, open up the chest, relax the shoulders. Less than 10 seconds here. And we're going to swing that back leg on top for a quick fire log stretch. Press ourselves up, swing that back leg on top, knee over ankle, ankle over knee, and now we get to collapse it over. So we're doing a lot of crunchy motions in that low back area. That's the very technical term. So now we just kind of get to release all of it. Halfway through. Carefully press into those hands. We'll bring the feet in front of us, taking a quick little windshield wiper here, just to kind of neutralize everything. And now we get to go back and do it on the other side. Not bad, right? So we're gonna go through that whole thing one more time. Then we're gonna hit a quick yogi squat just to see where our flexibility or mobility is, and then we'll be done. Good. And let's bring it over back into our down dog. So I'm gonna face the other way, tuck the toes, lift the hips up. Let's lift up that left leg this time. Bend the knee, open the hip. Now, as we're coming through the second side, you might start to notice one side felt easier than the other. One side felt absolutely terrible compared to the other. There's no right or wrong answer to that. Just good to start taking some note. Beautiful, let's bring it through and we're gonna come down into our runner's lunge, right? So bringing the hand or foot to the outside of the hands, drop the back knee, turn out that front toe, and we'll drop it down. Again, trying to keep the chest open rather than collapsing all the way over. Maybe you shift around here a little bit, see where those pockets of tension are. Beautiful, and we'll bring it up into that active psoas stretch. So pressing the hips forward and up. Good. Finding your balance and up. So everyone's gonna have a different range of motion here, different comfort level. Less than 10. Beautiful, we're just gonna pivot over to the front and start those lateral hip shifts. So for this one, you might get a little bit more mobility, like knee going toward the toe. That's fine by me. This is gonna look, again, different on everybody. Less than 10. You got it. And let's come into that 90-90. Here comes the crunchiness. So, coming into 90 in the front, 90 in the back. Use that back arm to press you up. So we're gonna try and release that front hip down to the floor. And I always say it whenever we do these, especially in class, this hip is never gonna actually touch the floor. We have hips, like you'd have to remove bones to do that, okay? But that's the idea. That's the action that we're going for. Good, and let's bring the hands to heart center. We'll start to internally rotate and forward. Good, and as we turn, just checking in that we're not collapsing in, keep everything nice and tall. So you will shift back a little bit for sure, but we just wanna make sure that the integrity of the spine is still there. And really use that glute. Press yourself back to the front. It should be pretty exhausting. Good, we'll take one more here. All right, arms up, we hinge it forward, and up. You can also do hands to heart center. It's a little less pressure. Or you can take a hand to the back, just helping to hold you upright so that all the work is in that glute. I'm doing like a half and half for some reason. I don't know, I felt it. 10 seconds. And let's release it over, forearms down. Remember, belly button to the calf rather than forehead down to the floor. So we wanna keep this nice and open, active. Bring those shoulders back, chest is open. Try to relax the ankles here. That's where I always hold my tension. I'm like clenching. Let the arms really hold you up. Let everything else release. And we'll use the hands to press us up, sweep that back leg on top. Whew. And we'll crawl it over. At the bottom of your next exhale, press yourself back up. We'll take a few windshield wipers with those legs, and then we're gonna head into our yogi squat. So as we come into our yogi squat, it is definitely a tough position. It also has a lot to do with our ankle mobility, okay? So if you cannot comfortably hold it, your modification is gonna be a butterfly. Soles of the feet together, reaching it forward. So that's your modification there. Otherwise, we're gonna hit that yogi squat. We'll take a few more cycles here. All right, final piece of work, just a 30-second hold. So remember, our butterfly is our other option. So toes are out, heels are down, press the knees out, elbows inside here, opening up the chest. Good, so if I turn to the side, very gracefully, you're gonna see the chest is lifted. So what we wanna stay away from is this position. If that's where you're at today, that's perfectly fine, but otherwise see if you can challenge yourself, lift yourself up a little bit higher. Less than 10 seconds, then we are completely done. Press into those knees. You're out of this in 4, in 3, in 2, and 1. Woo! There you go. All right, that is your 10-minute hip mobility. There's a lot of other exercises we can do to really work the mobility of those hips, but that's what we got for today. So any questions, as always, leave them in the comments, but otherwise, I will see you in the next one.